Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Miss Brianne, and welcome to our new Let's Get Ready series. Now, I know we've had the Let's Get Ready series before, but starting this month, we are expanding our Let's Get Ready program. We usually used to do it just for preschoolers who are getting ready for kindergarten. Now we expanded it for boys and girls who are getting ready for some of the higher grades up to 3rd grade. Does that sound exciting? So during these Let's Get Ready sessions, we are going to learn reading skills such as print recognition, letter sounds, word recognition, handwriting, cutting, gluing, and drawing skills. All that fun stuff. And this class is our Let's Get Ready for 1st grade class or program. It's for kindergarten students who are preparing to get ready for their 1st grade, as well as for 1st grade students who just want to review some skills if they want to. But usually the format of this program is I'm going to read 2 simple books, and we'll talk about how it's read, and maybe show how to ask questions on what you're reading and so forth. And then we follow up with a fun activity that may involve handwriting, scissoring skills, letter recognition, etc. So, without any further ado, let's begin. I have 2 very simple books to read to you today. Now, I always recommend when you start, especially when you're beginning kindergarten, maybe if you're later in kindergarten, go back a couple, or when you start a new grade, go back a couple of levels. That way it allows simpler books for your children to review what they've already learned, and then they can move to their just right level. So, we got a very simple picture book today, and it's called, our first one is called Gossie and Gertie. So say it with me, boys and girls. Gossie, and that's an and symbol. Gertie. So Gossie and Gertie. So Gossie and Gertie. The author and illustrator is Olivier Dunrea. Now, the author is the person who writes the words to the story, and the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures in the story. Now, Olivier Dunrea did both. And then we have the publisher, which is that company that puts the book into print and sends it all to all the bookstores to sell. And the publisher here is Houghton Mifflin Company. So, without further ado, are we ready to begin? All right, here we go. So, this is Gossie. So, this duck here is Gossie. Okay. This is Gertie. So, this duck over here is Gertie. And it looks like they're friends, right? Well, let's see what else happens. Gossie wears bright red boots. Now, if you have 2 O's, it makes the oo sound. Gertie wears bright blue boots. So that's how we tell them apart. We can tell them apart by Gossie, who's wearing red, and Gertie, who's wearing blue. Isn't that fun? That's a fun way to tell somebody apart, right? Especially if they look alike, like Gossie and Gertie do. Now, you should be aware, as I'm reading, I read from left all the way to right on each page. And we read top first, and then bottom. They are friends. Best friends. Isn't it nice to have a best friend? They splash in the rain. Here's a simple word, in. I is I. The sound for I is I. And the sound for N is N. So put two together, in, in. And just go as fast as you can, in. That's your first word, in. And once you recognize a word, what I suggest that parents is write it down, and that way your child can practice saying the word. They play hide and seek in the daisies. Fun little place to hide, right, boys and girls? And who doesn't like to splash in the rain? They dive in the pond. I don't know if I would like to dive in the pond, but I certainly like to dive in the pool, right, boys and girls? They watch in the night. Now, for a sentence like that they're watching in the night, maybe I would ask, like, what do you think they're looking for? Are they looking for bats? Are they looking for bugs? Are they looking for stars? Have your child guess what you think they're looking for. They play in the haystacks. Who doesn't like to play in the hay, right? I probably would, but I'm allergic. Gossie and Gertie are best friends. Here's another simple word, and. The letter sound for A is A. The sound for the letter N is N. And the sound for the letter D is D. So, and, D, and, D, and, D, and, D, and. Everywhere Gossie goes, Gertie goes too. So they're always together. Isn't that a great thing? Follow me, cried Gossie. Gossie marched to the barn. Gertie followed. What do you think they're going to find in the barn? Take a guess, boys and girls. Follow me, cried Gossie. Gossie sneaked to the sheep. Gertie followed. Looks like they found something interesting with the sheep. What do you think it is, boys and girls? Well, let's see. Follow me, cried Gossie. Gossie jumped into a mud puddle. Gertie did not follow. Why do you think Gertie didn't follow Gossie? Was it because she didn't want to get dirty? Was it because she didn't want to get wet? Could it be both? Well, let's find out. Follow me, shouted Gossie. Oh, there's your answer. Gertie followed a hopping frog. Take a look. Seems like Gertie was more interested in the frog than she was in the pond. That's why she didn't jump in. Did you think of that, boys and girls? I sure didn't. shouted Gossie. But Gertie followed a butterfly. Oh, it looks like there's a lot of other things that interest Gertie than a mud pond, right? Let's see what happens next. Follow me, shouted Gossie. Gertie followed a shiny blue beetle. Looks like Gertie wants to do her own thing, right? And it looks like she's interested in all the bugs, right, boys and girls? Well, let's see what happens next. Follow me, shouted Gossie as she followed Gertie. Gertie followed a trail of grain. Ooh. Looks like Gertie may be hungry, so she's eating all the grain. And what do you think Gossie is? Is she happy? Is she sad? And she's probably mad, right, boys and girls? Would you be mad if your best friend didn't want to do what you wanted to do? What do you think? Well, let's see what happens next. Follow me, said Gertie. It's dinner time. Gossie followed. So it looks like there's a change of plans when dinner's ready, right, boys and girls? Probably. Gossie and Gertie are friends. Best friends. And it looks like they're having dinner together. And that is the end of the story. So what did you think, boys and girls? Was that a fun story to read? Very simple to follow, right? Isn't it nice to have a best friend and you can do everything together? That's cool, but sometimes it's okay to like different things. Like Gossie and Gertie. I mean, Gossie got mad, but in the end, they're still best friends. Right? Well, that was a very fun book to read, and I'm going to read you one more. And this one is called Tiny Goes to the Library. And it's also a very simple book with like 1 or 2 sentences, no more, that you can follow along. And words repeat. And sometimes you can use the pictures to help you. So, Tiny Goes to the Library. The author is Cari Meister. The illustrator is Rich Davis. And the publisher is Penguin Young Readers, which is an imprint of Penguin Group USA Inc. So, we ready to begin? Let's get started. This is Tiny. Take a look. You think Tiny's the dog, right? Do you think Tiny is really tiny? No, it looks like he's big. But here's another word for you to learn, is. Remember, the sound for the letter I is it, and the sound for the letter S is S. So it's, is. Alright, so this, and remember I'm going left to right, top to bottom. This is Tiny. He is my best friend. So here's another book about best friends. Cool, huh? Notice the theme for this month? And it looks like they do everything together, including watch TV. But let's see what other adventures they have. He goes where go? If I go to the park, Tiny comes too. So it's kind of like Gossie and Gertie. Wherever the boy goes, Tiny follows him. Cool, huh? But like I said, it's fun to do things together, but you don't have to do everything together. And what do you think they're doing at the park? Looks like they're playing basketball. Well, let's see what else happens. If I go to the lake, Tiny comes too. So it looks like they're at the lake together. What do you think? What are they doing at the lake? Take a look at the picture. Looks like they're feeding the mama duck and her ducklings. Do you go to the park, boys and girls, to feed the ducks sometimes? I do sometimes. Well, let's see what other adventures they have. Today, we are going to the library. I get my library card. I get my wagon. So it looks like they're getting the library card and the wagon to carry all the books. Why does the boy need a library card? Well, you need a library card to check out all the books and the video and the movies you get, right? We have library cards here, and you need your library card here at the Westhampton Free Library to check out books, right? And why do you think he needs the wagon? Well, he probably needs the wagon to carry all those books home, right? Let's see what happens. Time to go. Oh, so they're going to the library, and look, Tiny's following him. What do you think the boy and Tiny are feeling right now? Do you think they're happy? Yeah, they're probably happy and probably also a little excited about the library, huh? Well, let's find out what happens. Sorry, Tiny. Oh, look at the sign. What does the sign say? No dogs. Oh, that's sad, right, boys and girls? What does that mean? Means Tiny can't go inside. No dogs in the library. How do you think they're feeling now? Probably sad. Now this is a little bit different from Gossie and Gertie. Gertie didn't want to do the same thing Gossie wanted to do. But this is a little different. It's not that Tiny doesn't want to go in the library. It's that he's not allowed to go in that library. And that makes him sad. Do you think he'll be allowed in after all? Well, let's read to find out. You wait here. So the boy's making Tiny wait by a corner of the library while he goes inside. Do you think Tiny's going to stay waiting? Or do you think he's going to want to play? Well, let's find out. I go inside. Tiny stays outside. So what's the boy doing? Well, it looks like he's trying to find some books to take home, or maybe even read at the library. What's Tiny doing? It looks like Tiny's watching out the window at the boy choosing books. Cool, huh? Let's see what else happens. I get dog books. I get frog books. I get bird books for Tiny. So it looks like the boy's choosing books, and it looks like he is getting bird books for Tiny. Why do you think he's going to get bird books for Tiny? Maybe because Tiny likes birds. Probably a good idea, right, boys and girls? Well, let's see what else happens. Oh, it looks like the boy is done. I fill the wagon. Tiny helps. So it looks like the boy got all the books he needed, and they're filling up the wagon. Tiny's a good helper, right, boys and girls? Oh no! Too many books! I cannot pull the wagon. Oh, there's so many books that the wagon's too heavy and the boy can't move it. What can a possible solution be? Maybe you take some of the books back. That may be an answer, but if you wanted to read all those books, you don't really want to take them back, right? Maybe the boy can carry some books and then pull the wagon. That may be a little tricky. Maybe Tiny can pull the wagon. That may sound like a good idea. Well, let's see. Tiny can. Oh, and Tiny's able to pull the wagon, and he does so. So they're all happy again. Uh-oh, but it looks like he's going too fast. And the boy looks a little scared, right? Ooh. Stop, Tiny, stop! Wait for me! Wow. Oh, looks like the boy found a solution. He's now sitting in the wagon with the books. That's a good idea, huh? Go, Tiny, go! So they continue to pull the wagon. And now they're home. Good dog, Tiny. And it looks like they're enjoying stories together. That's cool, huh? And that is the end of the story. Wasn't that a great story? You could go into the library with your pet. If pets were allowed in the library, would you take your pet? What do you think, boys and girls? Yeah, I'm not sure if I would take my pet in the library. My old dog doesn't like a lot of people, so I probably wouldn't bring her. But that was a great story. That's another story about best friends doing everything together. But like I said, while Gossie and Gertie, when they did different things, it's just because Gertie wanted to do something else. But with the boy and Tiny, Tiny couldn't go into the library because the library said no dogs allowed. So it's basically that best friends can sometimes do different things, but that's okay. But these were great stories, and I hope you had fun reading them with me. I certainly enjoyed reading them with you. But we're going to end this part of the program right now. And there's going to be another video link that you can follow for our activity part of the video. So please click on the following video link either in an email you received when you registered or in this video description. So I'll see you in a few minutes, boys and girls.